Lori here. So I know I've been kind of absent for a while. It's been a little crazy around here. It's just been a roller coaster ever since like Thanksgiving. So my father-in-law passed away on Thanksgiving Day, and it's just been kind of rough. And so I just have kind of been struggling to keep myself on track lately. And so I just really wasn't keeping up with my channel like I wanted to. So I'm really sorry about that. But I wanted to kind of come on and tell you, it's been on my heart lately that I needed to kind of tell you my story, because I don't know, I just feel really like I'm supposed to do this. And if it helps one person, then that's all I care about. So a long time ago, about 20 years ago, I had a really bad dating life and marriage to this one person, and they were pretty horrible. I went through some really awful, horrible things, and I don't like to talk about it. As a matter of fact, there's really only one person that has heard the whole story, and that's my therapist from back then when it happened, after it happened. And it was a really horrible, horrible time. I don't like to think about it, but when I get really stressed out, like I have been the last few months, I have a tendency to really have to fight off depression, and it comes up in my dreams. So all of that terrible, yucky stuff just kind of spills out in my dreams. I start having trouble sleeping. I just start having trouble just kind of getting through, day to day. So it really makes it hard for me to deal with stress sometimes. It's not something I talk about, but I do want to tell you really not about what happened to me, because it's in the past and talking about it's not going to really change anything. But what I do want to tell you is what helped me get through it. So I did see a therapist, but there were two main things that really just helped me kind of on a day-to-day basis just to get through everything. And so when things get really stressful for me now, I kind of always fall back on those two things. So one is having a pet. So I have a dog. Back then I had a dog named Misty, and she was a fabulous dog. But pets really help a lot. They help because they just, I don't know, they just kind of, they're there and they love you and they're supportive no matter what you're going through. So if you're in a really bad situation, or you're coming out of a bad situation and you really just need that support, look into getting a pet, because it really does, I promise, it really does help. If you have a family member who's going through something horrible, pets can really help. You can even get therapy dogs to help you go through specific things. I don't know why, but it's a comfort. You just don't feel so alone, because when you go through something terrible like this, you just feel so alone, and you don't really want to talk about it, because you don't really want to have to relive everything you've just been through. But you do have to talk to somebody about it to help get through it. But just having an animal around really helps. And then the other thing that helps me is having a hobby. So around that time, I picked up crafting. So I've done so many different types of crafts throughout the years. But I really wanted to just say that, even if you're going through a really terrible time, or you've been through a terrible time, you just have to remember that even though it's really awful, it does get better. I promise it does get better. And you just need to look for things that help calm your spirit. So that's what I did. I have been making wreaths for about 20 years. So after this happened to me, and it really has been something that has it just helps me. So I have another channel and I make wreaths and stuff on it, and I call it wreath therapy. And for me, it really is wreath therapy. Now, when I first started out, they didn't look so hot, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter because my mind wasn't going 5,000 miles an hour. It was just calm because I was concentrating on what I was doing. It was an outlet to help me just get some of that out. And for some reason, I've just been thinking about it a lot lately. And I feel like I needed to come on and just do a quick little video on it and say that, you can get through these things. There are still some things hanging around that I haven't really been able to get rid of. I kind of really struggle with conflict. I have a hard time with conflict, and I have a hard time when I get overly stressed. I can battle depression sometimes, but I just keep turning back to those two things. And what I found is that sharing my love of crafts with others has really helped heal me as well. So I just want to say, look for something to help you. It doesn't have to be wreaths or crafts. It could be lots of different things. But look for that thing that helps calm your spirit. And I'm here if you ever need someone. Make sure you comment down below. And I just hope that this helps at least one person, because it's not really easy for me to talk about it. I don't like to talk about it. I don't really like people to know about it. But for some reason, I felt like I really had to say something. So who knows? God is trying to reach somebody. I don't know who it is, but whoever it is, I hope that it reaches you. And that's all. You probably will never hear me talk about this again. I don't like to talk about it. It's not part of my life anymore. It's been over for a very long time. It did cloud my life for a long time. But I have learned to move past it. I mean, some things come up now and again. But for the most part, everything in my life is very good. So I hope that you get to that point someday, and that this will just help you and spark an interest in you to look for something that helps fill that gap that's there in your heart. Because when you've been through a really bad experience, there's a gap there. And something really simple as making wreaths can really help heal you and get you past that point. Alright, so that is my crafting for a purpose. And that's the reason why I call it wreath therapy. And I'm sure people don't really understand why I call it wreath therapy. But it helped pull me out of depression. So I hope that you will find something like that to help pull yourself out. Okay? Well, I promise to try and be better about being on this channel. And so y'all have a wonderful and blessed day, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Bye bye.